Good evening. My name is Caitlin Dubois, and I'm honored to spend this evening with you all. I wanted to take a moment to introduce an amazing individual who has greatly impacted my life. Kristy Apple was my resource teacher when I was a junior and senior at Rio Vista High School. She helped me through all the highs and lows and in my personal life while encouraging me to always do my best. She knew I was capable of doing wonderful things, even at times when I didn't even believe in myself. Finding my way in this world diagnosed with autism is difficult, but the lessons I've learned from Miss Apple I use daily and apply now in my life as a young adult. It is my pleasure to introduce Kristy Apple, River Delta Unified School District's Teacher of the Year.
Thank you, Caitlin. Good evening. What an honor and blessing to be here tonight representing River Delta Unified and to be surrounded by so many wonderful educators. And a big thank you to all of those who have worked so hard to put this amazing event on. I knew from an early age that I wanted to be a teacher. I absolutely loved everything about school from the time I started kindergarten. Each day when I got home from school, I would pretend to be the teacher and reenact the day's events. If I was lucky, my younger sister would be a good sport and be my student. That didn't happen much because she said I was too bossy. If not, then my stuffed animals became my students. At the end of each school year, the teachers would give away workbooks and textbooks that were no longer going to be used. I would load my bag and my arms up with as many as I could carry home. To me, I had struck gold. When I was in kindergarten, I wanted to grow up and be just like Miss Moon. Then came first grade. I wanted to be just like Mrs. Cooper, and each year thereafter, I wanted to be just like whomever I had that year for my teacher. Without a doubt, I can honestly say each teacher I had along the way touched my life in some way. School was my safe haven. Sometimes things were not good in my household, and school was the one place I felt safe and loved. When I was in the 6th grade, I lost my mother in a car accident. And who do you think were the first people that were there for me? Yep, my teachers. As I got into high school and became more mature, my reasons for wanting to be a teacher changed. I now wanted to be a teacher to make a true difference in the lives of others, just as my teachers had done for me. They helped me get through some of the darkest times in my life. They showed me that extra TLC I needed and always gave me extra encouragement and guidance. As we all know, the teaching profession is not always easy. Sometimes we become the only constant in a student's life. We may be their only cheerleader and their only supporter. Little do most of these students know that we learn just as much from them as they learn from us. I know for me, they are the ones that keep me going lots of times, especially when I'm having a really bad day. I will never regret choosing this profession, and I hope I have been able to touch the lives of my students just as my teachers did mine. I would like to thank and acknowledge the special people that are here with me tonight. I would like to thank my mother-in-law, Cheryl, who is a former educator herself and spent her whole entire 38 career with River Delta Unified and at Rio Vista High, and it's kind of a side joke. She's the original Mrs. Apple, and I'm the new Mrs. Apple. My daughter, Blake, they have been two of my biggest fans throughout my career. I'd like to thank my superintendent, Kathy Rye, and her husband, Steve, who have always been a huge support system and have always been there for me. I would also like to thank two other important people in my life who are not physically here with me but are in spirit, my husband, Hoot, and my son, Hunter. They are both football coaches in tonight's Rio Vista High's first football game, so they better win. And finally, one of the most important people here tonight, my former student, Caitlin, who is a true example of why I love this career. Also, her mother, Patty, by the way, who was River Delta Unified's Classified Employee of the Year, and a very good friend of mine. The people here with me tonight are just a very small group that have played a huge part in helping me be a successful educator. My list could go on and on. Thank you.